Hello, friends, and welcome to the channel. This is a podcast where I enjoy sharing my insights, and I hope that they are meaningful to you. And today, I'm talking about the looming deadline. And I'm calling this the T-minus syndrome. And this creates a sense of urgency because we feel like the countdown has started. We've got to-do lists. We have all these things to do. And if we were to simply drop the ball, if you will, a major explosion would happen in our lives. So we're going to talk about the T-minus syndrome, this idea of looming. T-minus 10, 9, 8, etc. Stick around, we'll talk about how to recover from this nonsense. The T-minus syndrome probably comes from when you were a child. My mom used this technique, and several teachers and mentors use this on me. And it's called a threat. It's how we threaten children. We act as if there's going to be some major consequence if we don't do something. And usually we're afraid of an emotional outburst. We don't want to see our parents upset. Now sometimes that emotional outburst would revert to a spanking. So it makes you feel like your life is punitive if you don't get up off your behind and do what I've said. And so we live with this looming voice in our head. Go clean your room now. And you're sitting there watching cartoons, and you want to watch cartoons. See, children are very good about doing what they want. They don't feel guilty about sitting there playing video games. That is until mom intervenes and says, you must do this now. So what does mom do? She counts down like NASA. Okay, that's it. 10, 9, 8. And as I count down, I'm going to get more and more upset. And so that lingers with us as adults. We do this to ourselves. This voice of, I gotta get this done, that sense of urgency gives us a sense that our entire life is a T-minus syndrome. At the time that we are born and at the time we die, it's a trip from the maternity ward to the crematorium. And everything is a downward slide. You're running out of time. And the reason why this is fresh on my mind is because I'm writing a book about time management. It's like, why do we fear running out of time when we know full well we're running out of time? You would have to assume you know when you're going to die for this T-minus syndrome to actually be true. But we're afraid that if we drop the ball will drop on us. But this is simply not the case. This is an extreme paranoia. You see, it's easy to not move when the countdown is 10. It's a little easier to move when the number is 9. It's a little easier to stay there. Yeah, I've got 9. 9 is not so scary. 8. 7. All right, I might think about I might be a little more motivated. 6. Oh, I still have a little time. 5. Ooh, okay. 4. Well, maybe I'll get up and go. Maybe I'll do something. 3. The question is, why is 10 easy to endure? And 4, 3, 2, and 1 get your knickers in a twist. Have you ever thought about how arbitrary that is? See, the secret, if there is one, is to realize there's no countdown. There's no looming deadline. What would happen if you just let everything fall apart? See, I'm the crazy guy on the internet that says, just let it fall apart. And watch how easily it organizes itself. See, this is the great teaching of the Tao. That life is but a stream. It's a dream, but it's a stream of consciousness. And you're floating in the water, and you're thrashing to get somewhere, thrashing to chase deadlines, thrashing to get ahead, thrashing to keep it together, and that's making you sink. And so you have spiritual people, or I say spiritual people, people like me, crazy guys on the internet say, let it go. What would happen if you didn't do anything? Literally didn't do anything. As if you had died. You'd left the planet. Strangely enough, if you go ahead and get to 0 and don't move, you'll find the liberation you've been seeking. The liberation from doing. And then you'd realize life is but a stream, and you're really in this sort of floaty state of non-resistance, and life takes you exactly where you need to go. That's hard to believe for a lot of people because they're in the T-minus syndrome. I've got this, and I've got this, and I've got to do this, and I've got to do this, and then one day I'll get there. You see, this is the insidious nature of the mind. The very thing that you think is going to cure you is making you sick. So you've got to realize that the T-minus syndrome, or this looming paranoia, is an addiction to thinking. It's an addiction to worry. And we've used worry as a tool to cope with a non-threatening deadline. There's no deadline. It's paranoia. The way I like to think of it is, worrying is like stirring a pond with a stick. You worry and you worry and you worry, and that's the vicious cycle. Oh, I gotta go do something about this. I gotta respond to this email. I gotta do something about this indictment. I got to do something about this child custody battle, etc., etc., etc. Whatever it is that feels like 3, 2, 1, go ahead and blast off. Die. Drop it. What would it be if you just suddenly left the planet? This is what spiritual enlightenment is. It's the rapture. But people think the rapture is going to be something where your clothes fall off and you just have a pile of clothes. Well, it kind of is that. You don't even have the clothes on your back. I often do some of my videos without a shirt on. And so I wonder, what will people think? That's all I am, is a shirtless, naked, bald-headed guy on the internet. That's what it means to be enraptured. I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. I'm gone. I don't want to play anymore. I don't want to play structured society anymore. What do I do now? Let me tell you, that's a great place to be, because you'll find that life takes care of itself. And the likes of you, this individual that you think you are being carried around in a bag of skin, is a big joke. That it is being done. But a lot of us are scared out of our gourd to get to zero. What would happen if Mission Control got to 0? 3, 2. Well, I'll tell you what. You would find an aliveness. This letting go, this blast off. What might that look like? It would mean letting a looming deadline go. It would mean not responding to a threatening email. It would mean not freaking out when you get an indictment, a lawsuit, a terminal diagnosis. It would mean just that. It would mean that you were living from the end. You're living at 0 already. Let's say you've lived your whole life. Now what? I guess it's time to rest. I call this, in some of my other videos, I call this living in the 7th day. The sabbatical. If you died, all your estate would be taken care of. All your assets would be given away. Somebody else would be living in your home. All your clothes would be worn by other people. Probably 60% of your shit would be in the dumpster. All your dreams, everything, gone. And you know what you'd be doing? You'd be resting with God. You'd be resting. Resting in peace. And you know what? You can rest in peace now. Let that clock tick down. I have dropped everything. I'm tired of participating in structured society. Does that mean I'm going to be homeless? No. I live in a beautiful, opulent home. I don't work. I don't toil. I don't labor. And I'm not saying that to rub it in your face. I'm saying play chicken with yourself and see what happens. Let mom count down to 0. You're the mom now. Now what are you going to do? The rent needs to be paid. The debt's collecting. The debt collectors are calling you. Now what? If you're dead, the debt collectors can't call you. If you're living in the end, all of it's done already. Watch it organize itself. There is no difference between 0 and 10. You are an eternal, invisible being. Go with that. Stop thrashing in the water and let the water take you. This kind of death I'm talking about, getting down to 0, T-minus 0, is your irreducible nature. And just like Job, you're going to realize you have nothing, you are nothing, you have nowhere to go, you have nothing to do. You are here to enjoy the story of your life, and it is unfolding without you. This is hard for us to understand. That without you, your children would be cared for. The universe would find parents for your children if you were suddenly taken away. The universe would find someone to do your job. The universe would find someone else to live in your house because the universe is doing it all. Does that mean we don't take on responsibilities? No, it just means that what's left on the seventh day is love, joy, peace, happiness, aliveness, heaven. Let the looming deadlines pass. Let the threatening letters come. Those are symptoms of your former condition. If your outer condition is inflamed and you've got looming deadlines, that is a result of a landscape that's troubled, an inner landscape that's troubled. In the Course in Miracles, it says, let healing be. Leave it alone. Let the circumstances heal, because you are the epicenter of them. And if you are calm, submissive, loving, caring, non-clingy, the circumstances will heal themselves, even if it gets to 0 or even T-1, T-2. I don't care what it looks like. I don't care if it looks like a looming deadline, a threat, a scenario that scares the shit out of you. Do not grab, hoard, run, flee, fight, brace, nothing. You're gone. You're living in the end. You're living in the sabbatical. You're living on the Sabbath. You're resting. It's all done. So no matter what it looks like now, it's working out. See, we use phrases like, oh, it's all working out in the end. That's bullshit cliche. It's all working out now. And that's trust. Living in that distrustful state is a paranoia that somebody's counting down. You're being threatened. And you're motivated by fear. And this is what we do. We bow to the god of fear. Oh my God, I'm so afraid of this. So I guess I'm going to do it. I'm going to get up and clean my room because my mom reached 0. My life has come to this small little thing and no. I say bullshit on all of it. Live in the seventh day. Live on the Sabbath. Live in the sabbatical. Live in heaven. It's already done. No goals, no desires. And what happens is that the pond hasn't been stirred and it gets clear. And out of it bubbles directive, guidance, desire, ease, love, irreducible truth. There's no countdown. There's no looming. I say let it go. Let that thing go down to 0. Spend all your money. See what happens. If you do not do anything, literally you take that absolutely literally. And then everything organizes itself in this miraculous way. Like a flock of birds. Where's the single brain in a flock of birds? Where's the leader? They don't have a leader. They are led. I don't have a leader. I'm led. My name is Ryan Hebert. I hope you enjoyed this little meditation on T-0. And I hope that you will join me in living in eternity, in the seventh day, where we rest with God. We rest in ourselves. Check out my blog, mymorningmotivator.com.